Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are fine. Welcome to MLS online virtual classroom. My dear students, I hope that you have done your previous homework regarding summary writing. Our today's task is basically to do grammar in use on page number 13. We are going to learn present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. So before going to our main lecture regarding learning the structure and their usage, we are going to analyze certain sentences. The very first sentence is, he has eaten his lunch. And another one is, he has been eating for 2 hours. So if we see the verb is same, the subject is same, the object is same. So what is the difference basically? When we read the first sentence, we get the idea that the subject has completed this task. He has done it. For example, he has eaten his lunch. His task was to eat his lunch and he has completely done this task. While the second sentence, he has been eating for 2 hours. While in this sentence, we get the idea that the person is eating. He is eating, but he has started this task few hours ago and right now he is still eating, just like as the person on the screen. Come to the next group of sentences. I have learned my lesson. So we as a reader get the idea that the subject has completed the task of learning. While the next sentence is, I have been learning my lesson for 2 hours. It means that the person, the subject, has started learning his lesson few hours ago. He tried to learn the lesson. He is still learning his lesson. She has written 2 books. It implicates that the person or the subject has completed the task of writing 2 books, while the next sentence implicates that he has been writing a new book about dodos. It means that he is writing a book. He started this work in the past, but he is still yet on this task. So, after analyzing these sentences, we get 2 groups. Group number 1, he has eaten his lunch, I have learned my lesson, she has written 2 books. If we look at these sentences, we get the idea that the subject are telling about something which has been done in the past, which is completed. While another group of sentences like has been eating, have been learning, has been writing, it implicates that the task or the actions are still happening. They have not completely done. Those actions are still happening. On your left side, the group number 1, if we analyze it, so we would get the idea that there is some similarity in their structure. Like, he has eaten his lunch. First of all, it tells about something that is completed. So, if we look at its structure, we are seeing has, have, has. After then, if we focus on the form of the verb, then we say that they have used third form of the verb, like eat, ate, eaten, learn, learned, learnt, and write, wrote, written. So we get to know that these sentences share a same structure, that is subject with has, have, and third form of the verb. On the right side, if we analyze these sentences, we see that they are also using has, have, has. But after has or have, they are also using been. And if we focus on the form of the verb, then we get to know that they are using first form of the verb, eat, learn, write. But with eat, learn, write, they are also using ing, eating, learning, and writing. So basically we get to know that these all sentences also share a same structure, that is subject with has, have, and then been with first form of verb with ing. We would analyze this structure separately in the next slides as well. So basically on your left side we have present perfect tense, and on your right side we have present perfect continuous tense. So my dear students, we further in the lecture we will learn the differences, that which sentence implicate which kind of work. So moving forward, now. So now means basically present time. present perfect tense as well as present perfect continuous both talk about something that is present. But present perfect continuous basically tells us about something that started in the past. For example, this is the time period. Here something started and it is still happening. Still now it is happening. On the other hand, present perfect tense tells us about something that has been done in the past. For example, I say that I have painted my room. It means that I have completed the task of painting. But if I say I have been painting my room for 2 weeks, it means that I started this task 2 weeks ago and still I am on it. So now the question arises that what is the structure of present perfect continuous and present perfect tense and when to use them. First we will do present perfect tense. Basically in present perfect tense, we talk about actions which are finished and completed. And this structure is has, have with third form of the verb. Remember, present perfect tense, we would use has, have with third form of the verb. For example, I have finished my work. He has painted the wall. Now look, I is subject, he is subject. After subject, we are supposed to use either has or have. Have, has. And if we look at the form of the verb, they are using third form of the verb. Finished, finish, finished, finished. Paint, painted, painted. I hope I am clear in this regard. In present perfect tense, we would use subject with has or have with third form of the verb. Like subject is they have planted. They have planted a tree. You see, they have used the third form of the verb plant, planted, planted. Now the question arises that with which subject we would use have and with which subject we would use has. So basically we use have with I, we, you, they and plural, while we use has with he, she, it singular. I would like to give you certain tips in this regard. With has, you see, there is an S. And in singular, we also have an S. So basically, has is always used with singular subjects. He is singular, she is singular, it is singular. So has is used with singular subjects. On the other hand, if we look at have, we use have with plural. Okay, they is plural, you is plural, we is plural. While there's an exception of I, remember that we always use have with I as well. I is, though it is singular, but we put it in the category of have. I hope I am clear in this regard. Now we would analyze these sentences. So we have our very first sentence, that is, I have solved my paper. Now look, I is from this category, we would use have with it. Then we have she has learnt the lesson. She is singular, so we are using has. Again, in the next sentence we have they, and with they we use have. Okay, come to the next two sentences and be attentive. Spacecrafts have completed their journey. Look at the subject, spacecrafts. You see, it is plural. So with plural we use have. Come to the next sentence. Spacecraft has completed its journey. Now we see the subject is same, but see, spacecraft in this sentence is a singular. There is no S with it. It is singular, spacecraft. So with singular we use has. I hope I am clear that with singular we use has, with plural subjects we use have. Moving forward, our next task is to learn about present perfect continuous tense. So basically, present perfect continuous tense is about something or some action that is still going on. It started in the past but it is still happening. And its structure is similar to present perfect tense in terms of has have, but after has have we use been and then we use first form of verb with ing. Look at these sentences. They, now see, they is plural and with plural we use have. They have been building the bridges for several months. So they have, after have we would use been, first form of verb build, and then with build we will use ing. They have been building the bridge for several months. Come to the next sentence. He. Now he is singular and with singular we use has. He has been, first form of verb sleep with ing. He has been sleeping for 5 months. Now there is another thing to learn about is that in the first sentence we see they are giving a time tenure, several months. In the second one they are talking about 5 hours. And they are also using certain like word for and for several months and for 5 hours.